OfficeJet Pro 7720 Printer Review. Great quality, mediocre value. HP OfficeJet Pro 7720. In Best All-in-One Printers 2017. The good. Prints up to 11 by 17 inches, makes two-sided text prints, quickly copies and scans legal-size documents, fast to scan in black and white to PDF. The bad. Slow to make black and white copies, no physical buttons, ink costs with high-yield cartridges could be better, high-resolution photo scans are not ideal. Verdict. Large format printing, high image quality and lots of features are this OfficeJet and number 039:S specialties, but less than stellar print and copy speeds and middle-of-road ink costs make this printer less than optimal. 7/10 very good, $199 Amazon. Large format printing, high image quality and lots of features are this OfficeJet and number 039:S specialties, but less than stellar print and copy speeds and middle-of-road ink costs make this printer less than optimal. The bargain-priced HP OfficeJet Pro 7720 offers some pretty fancy features for little more than a song. It can handle wide format paper up to 11 by 17 inches, yet it costs only $200. To boot, it can copy and scan up to legal-size documents, and it has a document feeder for multi-page copying and scanning. And its duplexer enables double-sided printing. The HP OfficeJet 7720 feels sturdy. Both the input and the output trays feel solidly built, as does the document feeder on top of the scanner lid. This OfficeJet has a wide body, in part because the scanner glass is legal size. This is also in part because the paper path is made to handle 11 by 17 inch paper. At 23 inches, this printer is almost half a foot wider than the Canon Maxify MB5420, which we tested at the same time. There is just one 250 sheet paper tray, which could be limiting if you plan to routinely mix up your print sizes or media. The document folder holds up to 35 sheets for scanning and copying. This model does not offer duplex scanning. On the front panel sits a touch screen that allows you to swipe. This procedure is much easier than having to tap virtual buttons for page up and page down. The section of the front panel with the touch screen hinges upward. There are no physical buttons, so all stand-alone operation will have to be conducted with the touch screen, which can get a little cumbersome. For example, having dedicated buttons for black and white and color copying, scanning would make stand-alone operation, not to mention entering fax numbers, more convenient. After I changed from color to black and white copying, for example, the copy icon at the lower right corner of the screen stayed green, which led me to question whether I'd actually changed the setting since it did not indicate the changed setting. Of course, when operating this OfficeJet from a computer, this limitation is of no worry. The document feeder on top hinges upward to reveal the legal size scanner glass. The hinges offer no resistance to the weight of the lid, so you will have to lift the lid up 90 degrees or hold it up if you don't have enough clearance. This OfficeJet offers the typical assortment of connectivity, wireless, Ethernet and USB. The printer does not, however, have a USB direct print port for printing from a thumb drive, nor an SD card slot. Printing speeds are at the slow end of the range for competing small office printers, but not out of range. The OfficeJet 7720 printed our 5-page text document in 24.1 seconds, or 12.4 pages per minute. The Canon Maxify MB5420 was quite a bit faster, at 17.5 parts per million. Using the duplexer, the HP made two-sided text prints at a very respectable 12.4 parts per million, although the Canon MB5420 was significantly faster, at 17.5 parts per million. More, all-in-one printers, the best for less than $200 print speeds on mixed text and color graphics were more up to par. The OfficeJet 7720 printed our 6-page document in 56.1 seconds, or 6.4 parts per million, compared to 6.1 parts per million from the Canon MB5420. Making two-sided prints of the same 6-page document, however, The Canon bested the HP by roughly 15 seconds, printing at 4.1 parts per million compared to 3.5 parts per million for the HP. The HP printed a letter-size glossy photo in 1 minute 41 seconds. The Canon MB5420 took 24 seconds longer to print the same photo. Our test is done at the maximum DPI setting. With this setting turned off, the OfficeJet made the same print in 20 seconds less, or 1 minute 20 seconds. This OfficeJet does not spit out black and white copies in short order. The 7720 made a single black and white copy in 15.3 seconds, roughly twice the 7.6 seconds it took the Canon MB5420 to make the same reproduction. A similar difference resulted when copying multi-page text documents using the document feeder. The OfficeJet made the single-sided copies at 6.2 parts per million, compared to the brisk 14.6 parts per million turned in by the MB5420. Similarly, the 7720 made two-sided copies of text documents at 5.4 parts per million, in 55.7 seconds, while the Canon did so at 8.8 parts per million, in 34.2 seconds. The OfficeJet 7720 made a color copy in 16.8 seconds, compared to 13.4 seconds for the MB5420. The OfficeJet excelled at black and white scanning to PDF format. It completed this task in just 5.8 seconds, much faster than the significantly more expensive HP PageWide Pro 577DW, which took 8.5 seconds. The Canon MB5420 clocked in at 9.4 seconds, making a JPEG at 600p. However, the HP was on the slow side, taking 38.4 seconds compared to the Canon's 31.7 seconds. HP's 577DW performed this task in a brisk 21.4 seconds. To scan at these resolutions, you will need to use the provided software on a PC. The maximum scanning resolution available from the touchscreen in standalone mode is 200p. When scanning to JPEG format in our tests, the HP Scan software performs a preview scan. This takes about 9 seconds, after which you confirm the file name and the save location. File names should automatically be numbered, according to the company, though in my testing I had to manually number the names. The scan time to JPEG includes the preview scan time. The OfficeJet 7720 delivers dark, sharp text that is near laser printer quality. Graphics print with well-saturated and accurate color, details are sharp, and textures are smooth. When using the duplexer, colors looked slightly less saturated, and dark shadow areas printed a little lighter, but the difference was very subtle. Copy quality is high, though text did not look quite as dark as in the original text documents. In a black and white copy of our document that had a mix of color graphics and text, however, the text came out a little darker than in the original. These are minor differences. Copy quality was very high across the board. Glossy photos printed with a lot of detail, natural-looking colors and bold dark shadow areas. Scan quality was similarly of high quality. However, 600p photo scans showed some mild bitmapped artifacts and fine details, compared to scans by the Canon MB5420, which smoothed these out with more attractive results. Ink costs are a bit of a mixed bag. Using standard ink cartridges, printing costs are roughly average with the OfficeJet Pro 7720, compared to competing small office models we've tested. For example, text and color pages cost 2.1 cents and 11.1 cents, respectively, providing a better bargain than the Canon MB5420, which costs an estimated 3 cents and 13.5 cents per page. More, don't trench your router. Here are the best to buy using high-yield cartridges. The OfficeJet 7720 does not deliver as much of a cost break as some other models. The Canon MB5420's print costs with high-yield cartridges are 1.5 cents, black, and 7.1 cents, color, versus the OfficeJet 7720's costs of 1.7 cents and 7.7 cents, respectively. In the case of the HP, high-yield color costs were calculated using individual cartridges, because at press time, a 3-pack of the XL color ink cartridges was not available, which could lower color printing costs. Setting up the OfficeJet 7720 should be straightforward, after removing the usual assortment of tape and packaging material. I did, however, find that connecting to the OfficeJet was a little unintuitive, though I thought I was following the printed setup guide accurately. I ran into errors that said the printer was unable to connect to the PC, while the Wi-Fi settings on the touchscreen said this connection was already set up. After following prompts to reach WPS mode, however, I was able to use